not just to one sector, maybe retail or e-commerce, but it has been across sectors. When you talk about healthcare, you talk about retail sector had both. Because existing models or even the AI models which are there, which were built up I would say, COVID, the way those models were did not work. Technologies like AI, generative AI, has become an integral part of the life cycle of any student or an educational institution. So, any key skills, according to you, that students or even the youth should be adapted to, especially in a very competitive era like today. What's going to happen 20 years? There's so much volume of data, and to analyze that frequent data, we today talk about AI, we talk about machine learning, we talk about predictive analytics, which is welcome to the second edition of Emerge Tech, the Malta City Roadshow happening in Hyderabad, brought to you by the Mains Hype. I'm Simrit Shivalkar, your host for today, and we are joined by Dr. Shruti Mandvi. She is an Associate Director at ISB Institute of Data Science at Indian School of Business. Dr. Mandvi, thank you so much for joining us in this talk. Thanks, Shruti, for having with you and for inviting. This was great, a very great platform for leaders across different sectors to come together and interact. So it's been fantastic. The pleasure is totally ours. Thank you so much for your kindness, Dr. Kuki. And with that being said, as today's theme has very, it's a complete focus on emerging technologies, AI content, cybersecurity, and sustainability in the heart of conversations. How do you think these conferences can foster a dialogue or empower dialogues or critical discussions in today's digital era? Okay, so similar since the past 20 years, with the advancements in the field of technology and telecommunication that has happened, we cannot go back to an era without technology. Because technology today has really changed the way we live our lives and the way we are doing businesses. And this is across sectors. In fact, the COVID-19 pandemic accelerated the use of technology not just to one sector, maybe retail or e-commerce, but it has been across sectors. When you talk about healthcare, you talk about retail sector had both. Because existing models or even the AI models which are there, which were built up I would say, COVID, the way those models were did not work during the COVID. Same thing happened in the sector, in the education sector as well. Because what happened was everything came at a standstill. So now the bigger question was that students' education, will there be a break which we cannot afford to, right? It's because there the lives are important. And that is where technology played a very vital role in ensuring that students' education continues. Also giving them a platform where their mode of education does not get disturbed. Similarly is the experience of education into there. So what kind of experience that they get in class, the same experience students could get even when during the COVID period is there, because their learning should not get impacted. And that is where most of the education institutions or universities in fact have to move to a technology-driven education in that particular period. And though COVID is bad, but still that mode of education has continued. So we really can't go to an era pre-COVID, I would say. And that's why technologies like AI, generative AI, has become an integral part of the life cycle of any student or an educational institution. Without charging it, of course, how do you view this as a challenge or opportunity for you? See, I come from an era where there was no Google Earth. In fact, when we were studying, we had to go to the references. Then Google came as a way where students or people, if they want the information they need to know, they could actually search to it. Now, what ChatGPT in fact is doing is, it is one platform above the Google platform. So Google gives you multiple different sources. ChatGPT is helping you by making a summary from different sources that are basically available. And that is helping. But at the same time, it also has challenges.
Because what students feel today, right from a very young age, school kids also, they have access to time. So they feel if they don't know something, they will just go and type it out and they will get a response. So that would in fact hamper. So they need to know the difference between for what they need these tools for ChatGPT and where they should not use Chat. I think there's a key learning there. And that is what is a responsible use of ChatGPT absolutely.
Absolutely, because when we talk about these kind of notes, it hampers the creativity is what I feel, yeah, personally. But again, do you think it would also be a shared responsibility by institutes and the whole parental and
Absolutely.
to monitor what is being, how platforms are used at what I do.
Absolutely. In fact, it requires not just the responsibility of the education institution, but it's also the responsibility of the education institutions as well as the parents to ensure that there is a very effective, teaching learning experience in the age of these new age technologies, especially emerging technologies as well.
Seriously. And lastly, any key recommendations or any key skills, according to you, that students or even the youth should be adapted to, especially in a very competitive era like today?
See, technology will keep growing. Now, with technology growing, one thing like when I did my AI, I did my AI or PhD in AI, it was 20 years back. That actually used to ask me, why are you doing AIs? Students didn't think when you use. People never realize what's going to happen 20 years. There's so much possibility of data, and to analyze that particular data, we today talk about AI, we talk about machine learning, we talk about predictive analytics, and nobody was saying that 20 years back. So there is basically a huge gap between what the industry requires and what the education sector is deliverable. So it is very, very important to bridge this particular gap, and that is where for its education institutions and the industry and the governmental policymakers to come together so that this gap basically can be bridged. And today's younger generation students, they get only with quantum. We say, okay, the Indian government is investing in huge amount of money quantum mission. But if you see quantum is still not being taught at a school level or even at a college level. So there is still a gap. And it's very, very important that this gap is basically understood.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking time to listen for IPO. Absolutely. And I think this conversation has been rather insightful and very much inspirational as because you have shared light on a lot of critical issues from ground level itself when we talk about technologies like AI. So thank you for the wonderful insight. Like the student for having me, it's wonderful topic. And I look forward and back with it. So thanks.